is a quick video that I wanted to record talking about the future of Season of Discovery. So it goes without saying that Season of Discovery has been an absolutely massive success so far. People love SOD. They love what has come out from Blizzard Entertainment in this new addition to Classic WoW, and they're really looking forward to what is going to be coming next. We're going to see the introduction of Gnomeregan as a new raid, a higher level cap, more runes to be discovered, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. But this, of course, has raised the question of should Season of Discovery continue, possibly into later expansions like TBC, Wrath of the Lich King, and so on. And I really wanted to make a video on this topic just to get a conversation going as to whether or not people think that this is a good idea. Real fast though, I do have to thank this channel's sponsor, Zygor. No doubt you've heard of it. It's World of Warcraft's add-on that does literally everything. If you want to level faster, if you want more gold, if you want that new mount, if you want that achievement, that pet, it doesn't matter who you are, it don't matter what you want. Zygor is the ultimate add-on for all World of Warcraft players, and it's linked down below in the description. And if you decide to become a Zygor member after checking out the free trial, be sure to use code Nixxiom for 20% off. One of the criticisms that's actually thrown at SOD, there's not many, but there are some criticisms that Season of Discovery has gotten. Season of Discovery might actually be taking away from the War Within and future expansions for retail World of Warcraft. Season of Discovery was not just like a few small little minor quick things that were added to Classic WoW over a single weekend in the Blizzard office. Blackfathom Deeps is a very legit raid. There is an epic quest line that is attached to it. The runes are actually very creative in a lot of the places where they're hidden. There is a clearly, well thought out plan when it came to Season of Discovery, and it seems that this is only going to continue to grow and just reveal itself further and further with later seasons or phases of Season of Discovery. I guess we'll find out. And so some people have given the criticism, which could be a fair criticism, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think any of us work at Blizzard, so we don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but they're giving the criticism that all of this focus on Classic WoW that Blizzard seems to be giving lately in the form of hardcore Season of Discovery and stuff is going to ultimately take away from the War Within and the later two expansions or the expansions that are coming after. So as you can imagine, the idea of Season of Discovery continuing into TBC as well as Wrath of the Lich King, it has brought with it a few criticisms, one being everything that I just said, but another thing being that Season of Discovery and adding yet another version of World of Warcraft for people to play is just further dividing the player base. Now, me personally, I've seen these two criticisms popping up. Retail WoW, maybe suffering from SOD, as well as the player base being divided. I personally don't like these two arguments, not because I'm a Season of Discovery Classic WoW fan. I mean, I am, but even if I wasn't, even if I absolutely couldn't stand Season of Discovery, ultimately when it comes to a video game has the objective purpose of just being fun and enjoyable. It's meant to be an experience that you can sit down, you can play it, you can have a good time, whether it's for 10 minutes, 10 hours, whatever. It's just a form of entertainment. And so if one version of World of Warcraft is more fun than another version of World of Warcraft, if this is where players are responding the most, if this is where they are getting the most enjoyment, the most engagement, and this is what's actually retaining the player base, then that is where the focus needs to be. It objectively does not matter if Season of Discovery hurts retail WoW. It doesn't, because if retail WoW is not holding the player base and Season of Discovery is, down the road as we, see how the numbers progress, then Season of Discovery and its continuation needs to be Blizzard's focus. It needs to be their #1 priority, not their #2 priority. And I think Blizzard is recognizing this potentially. I think we've seen that with Season of Discovery and just how in-depth this, new addition to Classic WoW is. Again, this is not just some little side project that Blizzard did. They really put some time and effort into this. Blizzard clearly has seen that Classic World of Warcraft, there is a massive amount of people that love Classic WoW. Classic WoW has a very addicting quality to it. It is a version of WoW that retains its player base despite ups and downs. Like, Classic WoW is a very solid game. It's a more solid version of World of Warcraft than, I think some would argue, than the modern game. It actually fulfills the role and the function of an MMO better than retail WoW does. So it's been very fascinating seeing Blizzard going from being against Classic WoW to being skeptical of it, to accepting it reluctantly almost, to actually fully embracing it, to now, I mean, it's very possible that Season of Discovery, this WoW 2 version of World of Warcraft, it might actually be the future of World of Warcraft. I mean, it certainly has kind of become the future of World of Warcraft. I made a whole video about it, how Classic WoW became the future of World of Warcraft, which you can watch after this one if you want. And if that does happen, if, you know, the players naturally trickle out of the modern game into this new version of Classic WoW, TBC, Wrath of the Lich King, whatever Blizzard decides to do with it, if players do that, it will be very interesting to see the prophecy fulfilled, that the only thing that could kill World of Warcraft was World of Warcraft. You know, the only thing that could kill WoW was, you know, World of Warcraft being re-released as it was with a couple of enhancements. Fascinating, very fast. But anyway, so the question is, should Season of Discovery continue into TBC and Wrath of the Lich King? As a fan of Classic WoW and old school World of Warcraft, obviously I'm gonna say yes. But even from a business standpoint, stepping out of myself, out of my own ego and my own, you know, fandom, if Season of Discovery is retaining its player base and it's bringing people in and it is getting people to sign up and stay signed up to the game, giving Blizzard $15 a month per subscriber, then yes, Season of Discovery should very much continue into TBC and Wrath of the Lich King. Blizzard should run the course as much as they can. And of course, you know, here on this channel, like, I'm going to be criticizing Season of Discovery. You know, if Blizzard is going to commit to this, if they're like, oh, you know, we're going to commit to this new version of World of Warcraft and we're going to see how far it can go and where we can take it, you better believe that, you know, I'm going to attack it. I'm going to say, hey, this is really cool, but this sucks and this needs work, just like I do with the modern game. The one thing that's just very important is that if Blizzard does decide to commit to the full-on Season of Discovery experience, if they decide to go into TBC, into Wrath of the Lich King, or even just give us more patches after Nixxiom is released in Season of Discovery, if they decide to go down that route, then what I really want to see from Blizzard is them leaning into it, just like they did with, you know, the original release of Season of Discovery. Don't just give us, you know, again, something that you just spent like a weekend on or even a few weeks on. Make it a real investment. Introduce new things into this new version of Classic Plus that people are going to love and to enjoy, but still retaining the spirit of Classic WoW. I actually made a whole video recently offering my suggestions for the future of Season of Discovery, new things that Blizzard should add in, everything from the obvious, like new quests and stuff, to even new things like a new profession like the Bard. There's a lot of really cool conversation going on in that video. Lots of people, like, you know, suggesting some really cool stuff, giving some fantastic feedback. So highly recommend you check out that video as well after this one. The point is this: I think it's very obvious that if Season of Discovery continues to be a tremendous success, that we are going to see SOD step into TBC and Wrath of the Lich King. It is my hope that if they do this, that before we just jump into TBC and go through the portal into Outland, I would love to see maybe some new raid content added into Season of Discovery's endgame, like the level 60 endgame. I would love to see some, you know, new level 60 raids coming out, updated versions of already, you know, beloved raids like a Nixxiom's Lair, Molten Core, Nixxiom, and so on. I would love to see Blizzard take the time to update some zones and introduce new questing areas into the world. The area west of Tirisfal Glades could become a zone. Gilneas could become a zone in Classic WoW. They could do a lot with Season of Discovery, and I hope that they do. And I hope that this continues into TBC and Wrath of the Lich King as well, especially Wrath of the Lich King, because I think that if there's one complaint that I think that many people have when it came to Wrath of the Lich King, in terms of its like kind of theme and its story, it was the Trial of the Crusader raid. Bit of an underwhelming raid, not so much a visual delight compared to, other raids that we're familiar with in Wrath of the Lich King. So it would be cool to see a new raid added in after Ulduar that sort of complements the Trial of the Crusader. Maybe you could go to that raid or Trial of the Crusader. Really, anything is possible, and I hope that Blizzard embraces that. But the most important thing, though, is whatever decision that they make, if we do walk through that portal into Outland, if we do take that boat to Northrend, Blizzard needs to retain the lessons that they are learning from Classic WoW's re-release back in 2019 to Season of Discovery's release back earlier this year. Focus on the community. Focus on community building. Focus on people working together to overcome challenges. Focus on new opportunities for people to create guilds for specific reasons, to check out new content that's never been explored before, whatever. Always remember that when it comes to an MMORPG, the people, the community, the friendships that are made, the guilds that are created, it is the community, the multiplayer element of an MMO that keeps the game alive, thriving, and doing well. And that precious gem needs to be cherished. It needs to be shined, refined, and made as beautiful as possible. And so long as that is the focus going forward with these future iterations of Season of Discovery, I think it will do very, very well, even going into TBC and Wrath of the Lich King. That's my hope anyway.